What's up, pals? So, if you don't know already, I'm quite fond of Dragon Ball Fighters. It has become one of my staples in terms of fighting games these days, and with all of the Season 3 characters announced or released, I think it's time we talk about those that didn't make the cut. Now, before we get into the top 5 characters that didn't make it into this game, let's talk criteria. And really, there isn't any. This is all based off of my opinion, and that's it. These are some of my favorite characters that didn't make it to the game, and I thought we could have a discussion about it. So number 5 is a GT character who would have been higher on this list if we didn't just get Super Baby 2 and Gogeta 4, as I'm sure you are already aware.
Oh my. This is happening. Exterminate? Baby Vegeta? Oh! Woo! Yeah! Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now, where's that brat?
That's right. We are talking about the man, the myth, and legend, Majub. And don't get it confused, I'm not talking about plain old Oob. I'm talking about Majub, who is the, quote, fusion of Majin Buu and Oob in Dragon Ball GT. And maybe that isn't technically correct, but I think you get the point. Ever since the end of Z and GT, I've always been fond of Oob, and he remains one of my favorite characters to this day. But nothing compares to that moment when Super Baby 2 fights Majub in GT. When it comes to fighters, the developers tend to do a good job of translating techniques from the anime to the game in the form of normals, specials, and supers, which is why I couldn't see Oob as a DLC character. He has limited time in the anime, and when he is on-screen fighting, he is basically getting wiped by Baby. And even if we let it slide with some generic normals, I think it would be hard-pressed to find enough to fill out the specials and supers to really fill the character out. The next entry on our list, quite honestly, suffers from the same issue. I put Raditz on the list above my man Oob, mostly due to his popularity. Also, I kinda like the idea to have an evil Saiyans team with the 3 that started the series. That being said, he suffers the same fate as Oob in that there isn't much to pull from the anime to really make him feel like Raditz. I mean, there are a couple of things that could get pulled over, like the double Sunday or the attack that he tries on Gohan, maybe even some specials, but there isn't a lot to go off of. I want the fighters in this game to be reminiscent of their anime counterpart, and I feel that this would be difficult with Raditz as we only see him in the first few episodes and his fighting time is quite short. Now we are getting to that good shit. The top 3 of my list, in my opinion, quite possibly could have made it to the game, and I don't really see any reason why they wouldn't. Number 3 is Top, and I mean, who doesn't want to get wiped by that sexy-ass mustache? All joking aside, I think Top would have been a serious contender for Season 3. He gets plenty of screen time and has plenty of moves that could have been implemented into the game. He even has a sick power-up by way of transforming into a god of destruction. But I think the issue could stem from what the state he is in the game. Do we have a normal Top with a super that utilizes God of Destruction? Or do we have a straight-up God of Destruction Top? Or even possibly an alternate level 3 like Frieza's that puts him in that state, powering him up and bringing in new specials for a short time. Quite honestly, any of these could work, though I kinda like my third option the most, and maybe we'll get a Top in a future Fighters game. Dabura the Demon King, one of 2 entries from the Buu arc to make it onto this list. Quite honestly, one of the coolest characters from that arc as well. I think there are some good contenders for specials, given the man can materialize weapons and turn people into stone with his spit. I mean, imagine that command grab. The issue is what to give him for supers. I can see some things making it, such as that powered up shot that hits Gohan when he shoots out of the water, or the move that literally slices into the ground, but honestly those feel more like a special than anything else, let alone trying to find what that level 3 could be. Let's be honest, we all knew who was going to be at the top of this list, and it's Majin Vegeta. Arguably one of the coolest fighters from the Buu arc, and quite honestly a fan favorite. Now, back before the announcement of Super Baby 2 and Gogeta 4, my pal Ultron and I were discussing who we could get for the last two fighters. And while we figured that Baby was a pipe dream, we assumed that one of those slots was for Majin Vegeta, based solely off of his popularity. And boy were we wrong. So why didn't we get this bad man? One of my main arguments against why we might not get Majin Vegeta was that I didn't believe there would be enough to differentiate him from his Super Saiyan counterpart. Sure, we could get some new supers, such as that ring attack he uses on Goku and the self-destruct, but I can't really think of anything else that he could have brought to the table. My primary concern was that he would play too similarly to Super Saiyan Vegeta. I think if we were to get additional DLC characters for fighters, he would certainly be at the top of the list. So there you have it, my top 5 characters that didn't make the cut for Fighters Season 3. Do you agree or disagree? Perhaps you have your own list. Let me know down below. This has been Al Pal. Be kind, be safe, and spread the love. Peace.